Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This webinar will discuss student employment opportunities at the University of Miami. My name is Susie Picard. I'm an Associate Director for the Office of Student Financial Assistance and Employment.
Hello, I am Maria Pavone, the Director of Off-Campus Student Employment Programs. We are also joined by Grizel Valdez, Director of Student Employment, who will be monitoring the chat room to answer your questions throughout today's webinar. In order to facilitate a consistent experience for all users, please do not use the raise hand feature, but instead go to the chat room on the right of your screen to ask any questions. Before we begin, I would like to advise you to please refrain from asking personal questions about your financial aid. Grizel will be addressing questions pertaining to student employment, but personal questions about financial aid should be addressed to our office email or by calling or visiting our office. Emails can be sent to osc@miami.edu. We will provide more detailed information on how to contact our office at the conclusion of this webinar. I also would like to mention that we do have construction going on in our building, so please excuse the noise as we go through our webinar.
So let's get started. In today's webinar, we will discuss the following: benefits of working, how to find a job, work programs available. We will provide some details on the differences between on-campus and off-campus jobs. And lastly, we will go over a list of frequently asked questions that we hope will assist you. Of course, as we have stated, you are welcome to ask any questions you may have using the chat feature located to the right of your screen. Now, as a former student employee, I can confirm that there are many benefits to student employment. The most apparent is having a job will provide you with a source of extra income, while working will certainly provide you with extra funds to assist with college expenses, such as paying for books and groceries. We want you to know that even if you are starting in an entry-level position, you will gain valuable work experience that will assist you with your future career goals. Whether you are working for the first time or have prior work experience, working while attending college will help you develop transferable skills you can use in any job. For instance, many students who work improve their time management and organization skills because students who work have to learn how to balance different priorities. And if you are working in a general office positions, which many of you may, you're going to expect to develop great customer service skills that will help you in any future job. Another benefit that I want you to keep in mind is that a professor can attest to your academic aptitude, but an employer can provide a letter of reference that attests to your work ethic and skills. In fact, I know of many students whose supervisor not only provided a great letter of reference, but also introduced them to their future employer.
As part of my job, I enjoy placing students in off-campus jobs and paid internships in the business community. Working while attending college will definitely open doors of opportunities and assist you in gaining personal and professional development. You can develop time management skills, can become better planners, and be able to show employers that you are responsible and mature. You can also learn to manage your earnings and create a budget. One of the most important benefits of working a part-time job is building your resume. Your education and work experience are the most essential sections of your resume. Your resume creates the first impression you make to prospective employers. Another great benefit of working, especially in a career-related off-campus position, is the opportunity to network and build relationships with professionals in the field.
Now, I know that many of you are wondering whether you're going to be able to manage a job with a challenging course load, but I can assure you that it is doable. In fact, studies show that students who work up to 30 hours a week do just as well or even better academically than those who don't. Working only 12 to 15 hours a week, which is what most students do, shouldn't affect your grades. Hopefully, we've done a good job of convincing you why you should work. Now let's discuss how you can begin to work. Now, before you can begin to search for jobs, you need to know which work program you are eligible for. There are two main employment programs for undergraduate students at UM. One program is the Federal Work Study Program. The Federal Work Study Program, or FWS as it is known, is a federally funded financial aid program awarded to students based on their eligibility determined by the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Students are awarded a specific amount and the federal government subsidizes the wages to the employers. In other words, you have to work to earn these funds. If you received Federal Work Study as part of your financial aid award, you probably were awarded a set amount for the fall and spring semesters. What is important to keep in mind is that you do not exceed the total amount of funds you have been awarded in the academic year. For instance, let's say you were awarded $3,000 for the academic year, $1,500 for the fall semester, and $1,500 for the spring semester. You may earn $1,600 in the fall semester and $1,400 in the spring. Again, what is important is that you do not exceed the total amount you have been provided for the academic year.
Federal Work Study jobs are available both on and off campus. An example of an off-campus Federal Work Study job is tutoring at a local elementary school. Students who are not eligible for Federal Work Study can work under the Student Assistant Program. This program is available to all registered, degree-admitted, and enrolled students. Many UM departments offer numerous opportunities in this program. If you are an international student, you can apply for these jobs under this program.
Now, as a student, you'll be able to apply for a variety of different jobs, from working at the library to being a file clerk at the law office. But before you consider where you want to work, it is important to decide whether you want to work on campus or off campus. So let's discuss some of the differences between working on and off campus. On-campus jobs are very flexible. On-campus employers will work around your class schedule and understand that you have academic commitments. Most students who work on campus at UM work between 10 to 13 hours per week. Some work more. For the most part, on-campus jobs are convenient and provide entry-level opportunities as well as more career-related opportunities depending on the skills you have that you bring to your job. In addition to the flexibility offered by an on-campus job, I think the greatest benefit of working on campus is that you get to see the inner workings of the university, from the Wellness Center to the University Help Desk to the research facilities at the Miller School of Medicine. Working with university professors, staff, and students will give you a unique perspective to UM. Some examples of on-campus jobs include an office assistant, working in customer service, graphic design, web design, data entry, tutoring, shelving books, being a restaurant server, and even being a lab assistant.
Now let's discuss off-campus employment. As I mentioned before, working off-campus offers students hands-on opportunities to build career-related skills. Working in the field of study introduces you to professionals that can serve as mentors. Usually, positions off-campus pay higher than those on campus. Off-campus jobs are flexible and you can work anywhere between 15 to 25 hours weekly. It is recommended that you have reliable transportation, but many students do use public transportation. Let's discuss the different off-campus Federal Work Study programs at the university. The America Reads program is offered to Federal Work Study eligible students who are interested in tutoring children in reading and math. Tutors are placed in elementary schools and after-school community centers. Students must have reliable transportation, and tutors will be required to attend a training session. The Federal Work Study Community Service Program places students in community service work projects at local nonprofit companies, museums, and governmental agencies. Students interested in giving back to their community will have a rewarding opportunity and also are able to receive a paycheck. Students may want to take advantage of the many benefits of working in off-campus jobs and internships in the business community. Students seeking early career-related experience who have reliable transportation may consider an off-campus job. Examples of industries that are looking to hire students are doctors' offices, law offices, advertising and marketing agencies, accounting and engineering firms, tech-related companies, and real estate agencies. Off-campus program also has an array of opportunities at retail stores, child care and tutoring services, restaurants, hotels, and gyms, just to name a few.
So now that you know about the different work programs available and the types of jobs available, let's discuss how you can find jobs. All jobs are posted on our job posting system called JobX. JobX can be accessed by going to miami.edu/JobX. You don't remember this address, I don't want you to worry, because you can access the link by going through your Student Center in Cane-Link and selecting under the Student Employment menu, the Jobs and Information tab. So once you go into JobX, this is the main page of JobX. This is how it would look. And from this page, you want to select student applicants. That will take you to the student area. And as you can see, you would simply select Find a Job. So we're going to go ahead and select Find a Job. And this is going to take you to different ways you can search for jobs. So you have the option of searching for the most recently posted jobs, as well as jobs by department and jobs offering the most and fewest hours per week. I recommend that the first time you go to JobX, you search for jobs by program type. In this screen, I have highlighted the two main on-campus programs we discussed earlier, the Student Assistant and the Federal Work Study job.
And in this screen on the right side, you'll see the community service jobs that you can click on and look at those jobs, and the off-campus part-time jobs.
Now for this demonstration, we're going to search for jobs under the on-campus Federal Work Study program. Simply select the category, and this will take you to a listing of Federal Work Study jobs. So let's say you are interested in the office assistant position available in the Department of Planning, Institutional Research and Assessment. Simply click on that job, that little link there, and that will take you to a page with further information on the job, including a job description, hours, and pay rate. To apply for the job, select Click here to apply for this job link located on the top left of the screen. Now this will take you to a page where you can apply for the job. As part of the application process, you will be able to provide information about yourself, including prior work experience, your skill set, and any other information you want to include about the job. You can also upload a resume as part of your application. Now, when you upload your resume, make sure it's in PDF format or another easily readable format. I've seen some students who have attached their resume in different formats that employers haven't been able to read. So please make sure it's in a PDF format. Now, my best advice for you when applying for a job is to take the time to read the job description and use the questions in the application to show your employer why you are the best fit for the position. We have seen students who do not take the time to thoroughly complete the application and generally just provide very general or not specific answers to the questions. These are the students that are not called in for an interview. So again, make sure you take the time to fill this out and show an employer why you are the best fit for the job. Now, if you decide to go to JobX after this webinar to view which jobs are currently posted, you're going to find a limited number of jobs, especially on-campus jobs currently listed. This is because most on-campus employers post jobs for the semester a few weeks before classes start. So the best time to look for a job is at the beginning of every semester. If you are looking for a job for the spring semester, I advise you to apply for positions shortly before you arrive on campus, about 2 to 3 weeks before, so that you have interviews lined up when you get to campus. Now, in my opinion, one of the best tools about JobX is something called JobMail. JobMail is a system that notifies you when jobs of interest to you are posted. For instance, let's say you want to be notified when a job at the Richter Library becomes available under the Student Assistant Work Program. Simply select the job mail feature and select Add New Subscription. From there, you'll be able to select the employer subscription and select that you want to add all these departments in the Richter Library. You will also have the option to add a subscription for a different type of category of job. For instance, let's say you want to see what new marketing and sales jobs have come in. You can add that as a subscription. And lastly, you can also specify any jobs that have come in for a particular semester. So let's say you're interested in seeing when a job for the spring semester has been posted. Just subscribe to the spring semester and you will be notified by email when the job comes in. So as you can see, JobX is a really quick and easy tool to find student employment jobs.
Although the JobX portal is an awesome and convenient way of finding jobs on and off campus, it is who you know that can provide you with a job. Actually, many times it's who you know that can provide you with a job. Networking and speaking to your friends, campus community contacts, professors, and company contacts can lead you to an interview and possibly that perfect job. All it takes is dedicating some time and effort.
Well, I know that many of you who are viewing this webinar today have never worked at UM before, so I wanted to share some important information on what you can expect once you are offered a job, including important documents you need to present to be hired. So the way it works on campus is that once you are hired, your hiring manager will enter details about your work assignment in Workday. Workday is a cloud-based system used to manage human resources and payroll functions. Now, there are several steps to the hiring process, and they will each be outlined for you in more detail once you are hired. But I do want you to be aware that you will need to bring original documents with you to complete what is known as the Form I-9 E-Verify process. The Form I-9 is a process that verifies your legal right to work in the United States. So part of the process is that you complete Part 1 in Workday, and then you will need to bring original documents to the appropriate person in your department to complete Part 2 of the I-9. Most students bring a U.S. passport, or you can bring a picture ID such as a state driver's license along with an original Social Security card. So listed in this graphic are other documents you can bring. By law, we're unable to accept copies of this document, so please make sure you have these documents with you when you start your job search. We have lots of students that were hired and weren't able to start working because they left their documents home with their parents, so just make sure you have these documents with you. And again, you don't need all of the documents. You can either bring one document from the green column, or you would need to bring one document from the red column and one document from the blue column.
If you are hired in an off-campus company, you will also need to complete the I-9, but the company's Human Resources Department will guide you through that process, and you will be paid directly by the company. If you are hired in a community service, federal work study position off campus, then you will follow the process that Susie just described.
So before we conclude our webinar, we just wanted to go over a list of questions that we often receive from students, and we hope that these questions will help you out. Again, feel free to submit any questions through the chat feature. Now, students who receive federal work study often wonder if their federal work study award will go directly to their tuition or count towards their bill. The answer to that is no, and that's because federal work study represents money to be earned. So until you earn it, you can't receive it. Now, a lot of students ask, am I eligible for federal work study? Well, in order to determine if you are eligible for federal work study, you need to complete the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, and the CSS profile. It's important that you complete these applications in time by the priority deadline. So it's important, please. I know that some of you complete the application, but you don't submit the accompanying documents that are required, so everything needs to be submitted in a timely manner to be considered. Now, we also are often asked, how will you be paid? So most of you will be paid by the hour. And payment for the hours you worked is provided every 2 weeks according to the hourly student payroll schedule, and the schedule is posted on JobX. A lot of students also want to know if you can work as many hours as you want. Now, by law, you can work up to 40 hours. However, most students usually work 10 to 15 hours a week, and we strongly suggest you restrict your work schedule to no more than 20 hours a week while school is in session. Many of you are in classes, you have projects. It's very difficult to manage a 20-hour-a-week job with classes. So, if this is your first time working, try to keep your hours between 10 to 15, see how you can manage that, and then you can slowly increase your hours.
For those students that want to work in the summer, there is an opportunity to work full-time during the summer as long as you're not attending classes in the summer.
And then this is a question that I think is important, and how much can you expect to make? Well, you can expect to be paid at least the minimum wage, which is currently $8.10 in the state of Florida. And I'm glad to report that effective January 1st, the minimum wage in the state of Florida will be going up to $8.25. Now, a lot of students make a lot more than that depending on the type of work you're doing, your level of responsibility, and the skills that you need to perform the job. Again, if you have any other questions, please feel free to provide them in the chat feature.
Well, we hope you have found this webinar helpful. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter, where important information, office closings, and event announcements are tweeted out. We also have a YouTube where we post all previous webinars hosted by our office. This webinar will be posted on the YouTube channel shortly. On behalf of the Office of Student Financial Assistance and Employment, we thank you for taking the time to join us today, and we look forward to your participation in the University of Miami's student workforce. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to stay for an additional 1 or 2 minutes in case you have any additional questions. But again, thank you for joining us today. We hope you have found this webinar useful.